Once I keep trying to airdrop. All right, let's get started with the stream. Before we start the stream, we want to go ahead and give a big shout out to Bryce Lewis from the Make a Wish Foundation in Florida. He just received his gaming computer from us. We hope you enjoy your gaming computer, Bryce. Hopefully, you're able to play all the games you would like: Roblox, Minecraft, Call of Duty, Fortnite, all those fun games. Hopefully, you're able to enjoy those games on your PC. But we have a similar build here to the one that you got. We are going to be building here today for our stream. But like I said, huge shout out to Bryce Lewis. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy your gaming computer. And if you guys have any questions, if you guys suggest any games for Bryce to play in the chat. But yeah, we got a similar build here to Bryce's. We got our O11 Vision case here. Really nice case. Has like that fishbowl look. Glass on top, glass in the front, glass on the side. Can hold up to I believe 8 fans. Yeah, 3, 6, 8. Really nice case. Really aesthetic. Really easy to manage in the back. We are going to be using Be Quiet fans in this build. So no RGB in this build. We are using Be Quiet fans. What else are we gonna be using? For our tower cooler, we're actually using not a tower cooler. We're gonna be using an AIO, a 368 VRLA Tech AIO for this build. It's gonna be compared up with a 1,000 watt power supply, and I'm pretty sure he also has a Gigabyte 5080 in this build. Let's see what CPU we're gonna be installing here in this build. We're going to be installing an i9 1400KF in this build. Also paired up with 32 gigabytes of DDR5 6000 megahertz RAM. In our Eagle Gigabyte, I believe, let's see what motherboard is this. Z790 gigabyte motherboard. So yeah, once again, let's go ahead and give a big shout out to Bryce Lewis. Like I said, hope you enjoy your gaming computer. Hope you're able to enjoy any games you would like to play. And let us know how you enjoyed your computer. So let's go ahead and get started on this build. Let's go ahead and start off with the motherboard here. Go ahead, get all the components in. We got the RAM in on the motherboard already. Let's go ahead and get the CPU. I believe our NVMe is also in here already. So again, we are installing an i9 1400KF into this build. Now let's go ahead and install our backplate here for AIO. Just because in this case, it does have like typically in other cases you're able to put this back bracket in back of the motherboard while the motherboard's installed. But in this case, you do have like a little cage in the back here that doesn't let you access the back of the motherboard. So what I'm gonna do is gonna put it on beforehand, and then we can put our AIO afterwards. So here we got our bracket. It comes with like 3M tape just to be able to stick it on the back here. Make it super easy so it doesn't keep falling, and when you're ready, apply or put on the motherboard onto the case. I'm gonna flip the motherboard, install the bracket here, push it in, just like that. Hold it for a little bit just for the 3M tape to grab onto the motherboard, and that's it. So now let's go ahead and get our motherboard screws to put onto the case. So in this case, since it is a white case, it does come with like silver hardware instead of your regular black hardware. You would get, so pretty nice. There you go. Back to the side. So now, since we are going to be installing a fan in this case, we do, in this case, you can either install 7 fans, which is just one fan goes here in the back, or you can install 2 more fans. But it does allow us to shift the motherboard plate downwards, so we're able to fit one more fan here. So we just have to remove these screws here. Remove this one. Remove that one. And then in this case, I would recommend 8 fans. Try to utilize more fans the better, just because it is a more fishbowl look glass. It has more glass than your ordinary case. So the more airflow you get in there, the better. So instead of 7, if you could put 8, I would suggest to put 8 in this case here. So yeah, once you remove those screws, it's just one more screw in here, and then you're able to remove the whole like plate here. If you wanted to, you could put the motherboard while the plate is off. For me, it makes it easier for me just to put it on while the plate is actually on. So yeah, you get this plate. Then you remove this part right here in the bottom. You're gonna put this on top instead of it being at the bottom. Go ahead and put this first. There you go. Now, same thing. Go ahead and put in the screws back in its place. What's the best graphics card for low budget PC, like around 450, 500? 450, 500, like your budget for graphics card or budget for the whole PC? One more screw left. For the whole PC, for $500 budget, um, GPU probably like if you're able to get maybe like a 2060 maybe, like for a very low price. It's just a very low budget for a whole computer build, and to have like a pretty good um GPU in there. But if you're able to get a 2060 for like a good price and still be in your budget, I would suggest go for like a 2060. Probably get that for like 100, 150. Alright, let's get our motherboard in here. In our case. There you go. $500 just for the case. So what's like your whole budget for the whole computer? I'm trying to ask. Around 800. Maybe you go for like a 5060 if you don't go like all out on like expensive fans and stuff like that. Get a 5060. As well, you won't have to go all out on a case. Get like a 50, 60, $70 case. All right. Got the motherboard in. All right. So now let's go ahead and start putting the fans in. Actually, I'm gonna do the kill management here in the back here of our front AIO cables. And move these brackets here. Connect our HD audio. USB Type C. USB 3.0. USB 3.0. Our F panel. That's to control like your power button, your reset button. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and just zip tie the back here so it's nice and easier for us to kill manage. I don't believe we're able to give out graphics cards like that. We do sometimes host giveaways of a whole PC entirely, not just GPU. So just be on the lookout for those. We do giveaways. when is the next giveaway? I don't know when the next giveaway is gonna be. But if we ever do post a giveaway, it would be on our socials. So if you do already follow us on our socials, just be on the lookout for that. And they do announce the giveaways there on our socials. So we got the kill match in there. So let's go ahead and start getting the fans at the bottom here installed. So it's gonna be 3 intake fans at the bottom, 3 intake fans on the side, and then 2 exhaust fans. Try to get as much air flow in this case as soon as possible, just because it is a more enclosed case here. So we got to get as much airflow as we can. We do got Be Quiet fans here, so the kill management shouldn't be too hard, just because it is just fan power. You don't have any RGB wires to work with. And these Be Quiet fans, they are really nice because they come braided, feel like a braided cable. So it makes it easier for you to kill manage as well. It's a very long cable as well. Just go ahead and just center these. Make sure they're all nice and centered. All right. Go ahead. Install these fans. So especially in this case, these Be Quiet fans are going to be pretty good because they do give a good amount of airflow with these fans. They do have very nice blades on them. A lot of good airflow with these fans. I've actually never built in this case with these fans. How long does it take to fully assemble a PC? It just depends. What type of PC? So like this one probably take like maybe like an hour and a half to like an hour. Since there isn't that much like RGB and a lot of like cable management. What usually takes the longest is actually cable managing the computer to make the cables look all nice and neat in the back. But if there was no cable management, it'd probably take like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. But that's because I already know how to build in these cases. If you're like a beginner, probably take a little bit longer. just because you don't know where stuff goes, what to unscrew. Like if you didn't know about like the two fans here that you could put just by um, pushing down the motherboard cage down, so you could put two more fans here. Um, but yeah, since I already know how these cases work, makes it a little bit easier. So what I'm gonna do here is just grab all these cables here, zip tie them, so they're not all scattered here in the front to make it look nice and neat in the front too. Just like that. All nice and flat. Perfect. So now what we could do is, so this came off too, pretty easy, pretty nice, but you can just take this off. So you don't have to work in the case. Then you just slide it back into a slot. Just like that. Route the cables back to the back. There you go. Now we can go ahead and install our two screws here. Back. What's up, Juan? Welcome to the stream. So go ahead and install our two screws that here that we're holding that bracket where we install our fans. Perfect. Let's go ahead and install these two back fans here. We got our two fans here. All right, so this. Go ahead and flip our case. Get our screws here. Route our cables to the back here. Actually, I'm gonna put not these black screws, but these silver screws, just so it goes better with the case. All right, one more fan here at the bottom. we got these two fans here. Now we just need we're gonna put our AIO here in the back. So let's go ahead and get our AIO ready for our case. We got our Veerlight Tech 360 cooler in white here to accommodate the case. So it's a white look. It does have RGB on the actual like pump, like a little circle, and it illuminates. Random question: how much would you sell a 4070 with 12 gigabytes? I don't know the market right now. I'm not pretty sure. I believe let's just say a 5070 is probably going for the 5080 is $1,000, like 1,200 or something like that. 5070 Ti is probably like 700-800. 4070 probably sell it for like 400-500. I want to say. Don't quote me on that. Not 100% sure what the market's looking like right now on GPUs. I know they've changed over time, but you could get a good amount of money for the 4070. Still, it's a pretty decent card. We got a 46. It's because then the 4070 Super came out. So yeah, it just messed up like the whole market of GPUs there. So right now I'm basically just putting the screws onto the fans and it attaches to our AIO here. I hand screw it first and then I go in with my drill to tighten it a little bit more. Got one more fan here. So then we got our screws here to screw it into our case here in the back. Go ahead and do that. Then flip our case here like this. Grab our AIO. go in, go ahead and route these cables to the back over here. Now to put our pump onto our CPU, we are going to be using our Intel CPU brackets here. Go and install it onto our pump, and then we'll be able to install it onto our CPU. All right, got our screws on here now. Let's go ahead and install it onto our CPU. It already comes pre-applied with thermal paste, so we don't have to put any thermal paste onto our CPU here, or our AIO here comes with pre-applied thermal paste. So it makes it easier for us to install. All right. Perfect. Now we can connect the cables. It's the PW cable for the pump here that goes into either your CPU or CPU fan header here. Then we got our RGB cable here. And I am gonna get one of these white zip ties here. Zip tie these two cables in the front. All right. This to the back, just like that. Perfect. Now we're gonna do the cable managing for the fans here, and then we'll put our power supply, GPU, and then we'll be done with the build. All right. I am gonna be using the fan splitters, if I know where I left them. Right here. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got our fan splitter here. So we're gonna connect all our fans in the back. You gotta connect this one to the front here. Just like that. And now we're gonna connect all our fans here. Right. Like I said, this is what takes normally the longest. Just the cable managing here, just trying to make it look as nice as possible and neat over here in the back. All right, let's get another zip tie here. All right, now that I got my um, now that I got all the fan splitters here connected and nice and neat, now I just gotta connect all the fans. Now they're all connected to my fan splitter. Time to connect. Now time to cable manage them. And the cables are braided from the Be Quiet fan, so it does make it a little bit easier to cable manage these. I'll show you guys the cable management after I'm done. I'm almost done. There wasn't really much here to cable manage. Alright, now we can put our GPU in and then our power supply in, and we should be done with the build here. Let's go ahead and get our GPU in here. Go ahead and remove the brackets here for our GPU. Placed. And it needs 2 screws to ground onto the cases. We should remove 2 brackets. Go. Put a GPU in. Next, our power supply, and that will be the last thing that we do have to connect onto our building. The ASRock FL1000G. cables there. The fully modular power supply here, so it makes it even easier to cable manage because we only have to connect the cables that we do need, which is going to be 2 CPU, one 24 pin, and that's 12 high power for our power supply. Just 3 cables. Actually 4. 2, 3, and 4. 2 CPU, a 24 pin, and then our 12 high power for our power supply. Not power supply, I mean GPU. Open the bag here. Open the CD. Don't need the screws either. Like double tied. We got 24 pin here. Let's go ahead and connect that. The 12 high power here. Perfect. Now we need 2 CPU, and that'll be it. And I would recommend if you guys are building your own computer at home, and have a 12 high power GPU, not to use the adapter that it comes with. I would recommend if you are building a brand new PC to buy a power supply that has 12 high power cable in it, just because it's way better than the adapter itself. Instead of putting those 2 PCIe cables or 3, even maybe if you have like a 5090, 5080. More reliable and just easier also when building the computer. And I'm pretty sure they're like almost the same price as mine, like a regular power supply that doesn't have 12 high power. Yeah, but I would recommend that if your GPU does need the 12 high power connection, to just get a power supply that already comes with it. And if you could get a fully modular one like this one, even better because it makes it easier for cable managing and not having to have all those extra cables in there. Alright, we're going to connect our 2 CPU here. There you go. I got one more. There we go. There we go. Now let's get our 12 volt high power for our GPU here. Twist the cable here. There we go. There you go. Now I got a 24 pin. All right. That's finished off. Do a little bit of cable magic in the back here. And we should be done. All right. I'm gonna show you guys how the back looks like. Pretty nice and simple. Not too much going on because of no RGB in this case. All right, let's go ahead and turn it on. Not really much to see, but because no RGB, but go ahead and make sure I plugged in everything correctly. Do you have a power cable? Go ahead and connect this. All right. Let me go ahead and put the glass panels as well. Or at least the top one. Just so you guys can see how much glass is in this build here. Switch it on. Perfect. We do got some RGB on the RAM there. So yeah, pretty easy build. Nothing really much to it. Has the Be Quiet fans, Be Quiet fans. Has our 32 GB RGB 6000 megahertz RAM. It's our i9 1400KF paired with the not B, sorry, with our Z790 gigabyte motherboard with the 1000 watt power supply by ASRock. Paired with our 360 Verily Tech AIO. It's just bootleaping now just because it doesn't have a anything to boot up in. I believe it also has a 1 TB NVMe in it. So yeah, once again, I want to give a special shout out to Bryce with the Make a Wish Foundation in Florida. He just picked up his computer um, from us. Hopefully, you're able to enjoy your gaming computer, play all those games you would like to play, such as Minecraft, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Roblox. Hopefully, you enjoy the computer. Um, Yeah, like I said, this was a similar build to the one that we did give you. Probably just had like different fans. But in the same case, yeah, you should have a really, really good computer to be playing any game you would want. Like I said, hopefully you enjoy the computer, um, and have fun in the games you'll be playing. So that's gonna be it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys tune in. Hopefully we do have another stream on Friday. I know we've been missing some of these weeks, but hopefully we do get another stream on Friday. Either a customer's build or custom build. Um, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end the stream here. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day.